And he'll give it here to his running back. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. The previous run, good for 9. Here's second and a yard. And he gives this time to the tailback. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called in this drive.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Now a handoff looking right. And he'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 14-yard line.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game. And while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. This will be caught at about the 5. Touchdown! A 14-yard touchdown. And the Browns take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the 3rd quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
They'll try and run it here. And he is into the end zone to bump the lead up 2 more. And they're able to ground it in there on the 2-point try. And you and I were talking before the game. The 2-point conversions from the 15-16 season, what has changed, what hasn't changed, partner?
Yeah, I'll tell you what's changed is just your normal strategy, because now you're either kicking the football with the ball on the 15-yard line, or if you decide to go for 2, they put it on the 2-yard line. So what are you thinking as a coach? Do I risk it? Do I go for it here? Do I try and gain a strategic advantage and maybe go for 2 early? That's what people are wondering about.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. No run back here, down to a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. Here's the Giants offense now getting set to start the 3rd quarter. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing. And try.
Here's 2nd and 10. They'll drop to throw. He finds his man, complete. It's Spencer. The ball comes out, but this will fortunately wind up out of bounds. Offensively, they're just not playing a very clean football game right now. This deficit, there's a fumble. Good news for them, at least. That went out of bounds.
You're exactly right, and as they breathe a sigh of relief, you know they're looking at the scoreboard, thinking to themselves, if we turn it over there, things could really get rough for us trying to make a comeback in this game.
And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
Nice punt, but good work on the return to get back 11 yards. And the Browns will take over, 1st and 10. Ready to take over again on offense. Out comes Cleveland. And that last touchdown drive they had very balanced. How key is that balance?
It's huge because most of the time when we talk about balance is run, pass, almost 50-50. But most of the times when you talk to offensive coaches, they say balance is we do what we want when we want to. And that means that they're ahead of the defense, keeping them on their heels.
Yeah, they imposed their will on that last drive. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. That's the danger, Charles, of running plays like this for your wide receiver. They can hit big or they can be duds.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that because if they're forced to try and go around defenders behind the line of scrimmage, sometimes you can give yardage in order to gain it. But in this case, they gave yardage and didn't get it back.
Yes, I wake up in the middle of the night going to work early in the morning. Kids sitting there and doing that. I was like, wow, okay.
2nd and 11. Now a give, right side, long, and to the 42-yard line here, and brought down there.
Sleep, baby, so
47 yards rushing for him now in the ball game. So from 2nd and long, now we go to 3rd and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in 4-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line.
Well.
Normally on 3rd down and
come
short
on,
yardage,
man.
you're thinking
Just give me the torchlight,
a simple chain mover. But this time they let him roam down the field, and a nice dart picks up the 1st down and then some.
They'll run on 1st down. It's long, and he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right of the yard. And Thomas seems to be in some pain. He's still on the ground. Definitely the last thing you want to see here in a preseason game. We'll be right back.
Make sure y'all, you look nice and smell good, babe.
The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard.
There you go. His ass he was probably playing me in soccer, had me sit down there all that time to wait.
And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here.
I said, what am I doing? He said, oh, I got to do this first.
2nd and 1 and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the 1st down.
They get big.
On 1st and 10, Cohen. And it's intercepted at the goal line. A great read, and it's picked off. And the Giants are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores. But, yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And, look, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is the team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
Now 2nd and 7 from the 23. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll get this one up to the 26. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go. They'll look to throw. He's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a 1st down. They say he was out of bounds, so a big call there that brings up 4th. Here's J.K. Scott now as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. And this will get inside the 20 and be touchdown just outside of the 15-yard line. Cleveland offense making their way out. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, That does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
On second down, they'll try and run the counter. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line.
Second and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on third down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
Hands it off out of the gun. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less.
Down the numbers. There he goes. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. A big play there. 66 yards. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage.
We know it's primarily a passing league now, but anytime a runner breaks one like that, you've got to have a secondary that can find a way to it and find a way to get him on the ground. Absent of that, he's going to find the end zone every time.
Point after, right down the middle. And that'll increase their lead to 28. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return. And New York set to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. 2nd and 10. He'll look to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this is picked up by the Browns. And he's into the end zone. It's a fumble return for a Browns TD. Huge play by the defense, not only to force the fumble, obviously, but to return it for a touchdown.
And I know it's no fun for anyone who plays offense, but isn't it fun to see how a defense rallies when there's a fumble return and everyone tries to find someone to block and bring it all the way home?